Welcome, hello, and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So I got another request, and I've dealt with this subject before. Someone says, I'm having some hesitation, nervousness before starting to make calls for the first time, and it's holding me back. Any advice, tips for the right mindset to help get past that first hurdle of making the first call? So a couple things. First of all, I was a stockbroker back in the days when before I got married. So we're talking about like 92, 93. And call reluctance is a real thing. Okay. And let's put this in perspective. So they would pay us, I think, $1,000 a month. And we had to make 300 dials, we're supposed to get 30 connections, make 10 pitches, and hopefully open one account. That was what we were supposed to do. So we had a bunch of people working at this company, and I can tell you, so clearly the only way out of that crappy situation we were in was to open these accounts. You open 20 accounts, then you can go out on your own. That's how it worked. So it was in everybody's best interest to spend as much time on the phone as possible. But you would see people taking 4-hour lunches, doing anything other than calling, because they did not want the rejection. Now, the smart people, really, the successful people, were the people who wouldn't get interrupted or talk to people. Right? I remember one guy had a note on his door that said, "Fuck off, I'm here to make money, not friends." And he was a good guy, but he was on the right track. Now, so when I got into doing this in real estate, really for the first 4 years I was in this, from 2013 to 2017, when I was doing this full time, I wasn't speaking to sellers at all. But I did it in 2017 and on. So I didn't have that call reluctance as much. There is no easy way to get over call reluctance. You just have to do it. So what I'm finding with a lot of people is not just that they're worried about the people who are going to say no, drop dead, you're a piece of crap, I'm going to come there and kick your ass. Did you see a house sign on my lawn? But people are more afraid of somebody who says, yes, I want to sell, because they feel like, well, I'm not really prepared to deal with a real seller, and I don't want to lose a deal. So let me explain a bunch of things. Number one, you just have to make the calls. Number two, you're going to suck in the beginning. Everybody does. Number three, don't worry about knowing everything. Every situation is different. Don't feel like you're going to lose that $100,000 deal because you didn't know what to say. It doesn't matter. You're always going to learn and do better. I tell people starting out they should go on any appointment they can make. Even if someone says, I want $10 million for a house that's worth $200,000, go on that appointment. Now, why? Why would I tell people to waste their time? Because you have to get better at going on appointments. And the only way to get better is by going on appointments. So go on as many appointments and talk to as many people. Now, you say, I'm terrified, I don't know what to say. I'd say call for a half hour. Hopefully you're using a predictive dialer, like Mojo, Call Tools, or Ready Mode, which means you push the button. You put all your numbers into it, you push a button, and it just dials. The advantage to that is that you're not sitting there with your finger. 1 5 1 6 4 4 4. Oh shoot! It's 6 1 1 6. Much more efficient. Spend a half hour on it. Spend 20 minutes on it. The next day, spend 25 minutes on it. Spend a half hour. Within 2 weeks, you're going to feel much better on the phone. So you're not always going to know what to say. And if you don't know an answer to something, just say, I don't know. I'll get back to you with that. I say that to people all the time. Right? There's a situation comes up and I've never heard about it before. I just had a title situation recently. I don't know what the hell it is. Somebody wants to sell me a percentage of a house. These things don't come up that often. So don't be afraid. You need the way to get over call reluctance, this fear, is by spending time actually doing it. And if you're afraid, call for 10 minutes today. Call for 15 minutes tomorrow. So my general rule, people ask me how much to call. If you have a full-time job, I would spend 2 hours in the late afternoon calling every weekday, and then spend 3 hours each weekend day. So it's a total of 16 hours. I say that number because A, I think it's manageable, and B, because in general, if you're good on the phone, you should get about 1 lead per 8 hours of calling. So this means that once you get good, you should get 2 leads a week, which is a good number. To make that first call, I have a script. I'll give it to you. You should practice it. You got to just do it. You got to know that a vast majority of people you're going to call are no interest in selling. And a lot of people are not going to be nice about it. You got to anticipate that. And you got to not worry about those real leads that show up where you're not going to be prepared. There's no way to be prepared for it, right? You got to be doing things for years and years to get prepared for it, but you got to start somewhere. So this is another example of how much do you really want it, right? I'm going to tell you a story of me running the marathon. I ran the New York City Marathon in 2006, trained for almost 2 years, got guaranteed entry in 2005 and 2006. Ran the marathon. It was an amazing experience. Amazing. Incredible high. Finishing, running through the city with people cheering, meeting my family at the finish line. It was amazing. I said, I want to do this again. Okay. So in 2008, I worked my ass off to get guaranteed entry for 2009. Got into it in 2009, started training. So the way my training was, I ran short runs, which ended up being 6.5 miles 3 times a week. And then on Sunday, marathon day, I would get longer and longer runs. So 7 miles, 8 miles, 9 miles, 10 miles, 12 miles, 13, another extra mile every single week. Once you get up to like 13, 14 miles, for me, I'm pretty much wrecked the rest of the day. The whole Sunday was shot. I needed to basically take a bath and then take a nap. And I was just exhausted, right? Once I got to past the half a marathon, which is 13 miles. So my kids were young, right? 2009, my youngest was 6 and my oldest was 13. And I'm running and I'm doing my thing. And then, something started to hurt. And I realized in the middle, and I had really worked hard to get guaranteed entry for 2009, I don't want this enough. I did it once. I don't want it enough. And I think, I'm sure I made the right decision in not continuing. I didn't want to give up every Sunday in the summer to not be with my kids, to not be a functioning parent, to do something that I didn't want enough. I didn't want that enough. And that is the trade-off that we all make in everything we do, right? The difference between super successful people and not super successful people is usually how much they want it. Right? Now, sometimes we can want things that make no sense, right? If I wanted to be the starting center for the New York Knicks, that's never going to happen. But at some point, I should realize that. But I think of Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues was a 5'3" guy who was a really good player in college and got drafted in the first round of the NBA and had a decent career. Spud Webb was 5'7". I'm sure plenty of people told him, you're never going to be in the NBA. These guys had successful careers. They wanted it enough. My point is, if you can't make that first dial, if you can't call for a half hour, you probably don't want what's on the other side of that calling enough. Right? You may want it. You may think you want it. You may watch a million my videos or other people's videos and think you want it. But you don't want it enough. Right? You got to want it enough. Want it enough that you're going to put up with all the shit. I tell people, I coach people, I mentor people, and I tell them, this can be a year and a half before you're going to see any money from this, right? Usually, nobody believes me. Now, there are exceptions, but usually don't believe me. They think they're going to be the exception. In 4 months, they're going to get a check for $40,000. When the 4 or 5 month mark hits, and they don't make it, and then they realize, this Pinter guy may be onto something, it's really going to take some time, a lot of people drop out. And that's 100% fine. Because they didn't want it enough. If you want it enough, you'll put up with all the shit. You'll put up with the fact that you may talk to a prospect who's going to tell you to drop dead. You're going to put up with the fact that you might talk to a lead who really wants to sell, and you don't have all the answers. You'll do it, right? You'll do anything, right? And that is the way life works, right? When we think we try to justify people's success. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg was a genius. He had to go through a lot of shit to start Facebook. People told him to drop dead and pound sand. Jeff Bezos started an online book company. There was a period of time when the .com crash where his stock was almost worthless, right? But he wanted it enough to keep going, and that is how successful people are successful. They want it more than anybody else does. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching I offer, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in a study-at-home program where I teach you how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. What else? If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click the thumbs up. The likes really help me. A lot more people see my videos lately because you've been liking them, so thank you. And please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I usually don't have no idea what I'm going to say. So I look at the comments, and these are the questions that you want answered. I try to answer every question as soon as I can. If it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered recently, I will send you links to videos. I actually sent the video that I did, but I saw it was almost 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. So I did a new video on it. And if it's something new or something I haven't covered in a while, I'll do a brand new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate all the comments, all the compliments I've been getting. Please continue to watch. Thank you again for watching.